The Central Coast Mariners round 3 matchup away to Macarthur FC has finished in a 1-0 win to the Bulls. It was a performance that overall had promising signs, but again, it was the same story as last week in our loss to Wellington Phoenix, where we were creating chances. It's just it's the final pass, it's the final strike, whatever it is, it's just not there for the Mariners. Heading into this game, in terms of lineups, there were a couple of changes made. Mateus Maresh and Harry Steele, two players making their starting debuts in the A-League. Harry Steele impressed in his cameo bench appearance against Wellington last week and started in the Cup during the week, as did Maresh. So both players got their start. First of all, on Harry Steele, I thought he was really, really impressive today. He, similar to the way Max Ballard made his instant impact at A-League level. It was really impressive seeing the way that he was, getting into battles, into duels, and getting himself on the ball and setting up some attacking plays here and there. So that was one positive to take out of this game. In terms of Maresh, just touching on him as well, probably didn't have the best game. I think, again, I feel like I keep saying it each week now because he's a player that a lot of people are keeping their eye on, especially the fact that he's young. He's this Brazilian striker that we've brought into the club. Strikers from overseas have always been hit and miss at the Mariners. So we're hoping that Mateus Maresh can succeed at the club. So again, he showed positive signs. Not quite. I don't think he's performing at full throttle just yet, and it's interesting to see what sort of lineup we go with in terms of our strikers moving forward when Matt Simon does come back into the lineup. But look, this game was pretty evenly balanced from the get-go. There were chances for both sides. I thought we were in it the whole way through, and I think we knew as well before heading into this game that it was going to be a tough game. We saw Macarthur, the way that they played in the opening two games. Very solid defensively with those three central defenders. The structure that they have now has really helped them, especially last week, to get that win away to Sydney FC, who are, of course, are a top side. So it was always going to be a tough test, and I think we struggled, especially to get the ball into the strikers, especially the two strikers coming up against three defenders. It's the first time in the A-League this season that the Mariners have come up along against a team that plays three at the back, and I think we struggled. It was tricky because at times we were looking really dangerous. And we were creating some really good opportunities. In the first half, I think it was Cy Goddard who probably had that best opportunity to grab a goal for the Mariners. But it was, unfortunately, Macarthur who did find the first goal of the game. It was a shot from Ulysses Devere, which was deflected off captain Oli Bozanic, went into the goal. And Danny De Silva involved in the build-up. Of course, De Silva, former Mariner. He actually played really well this game. He was getting involved in attack a lot. That combination that Devere and De Silva have in attack for Macarthur is pretty dangerous, especially with Najjar and Craig Noon on the wings. But of course, we have to talk about Yaron Souza. So unfortunate. It was really, really sad. The way he's coming into this game, he gets his first start for the Mariners, and what was it, barely 20 minutes in or whatever, and apparently he tore his hamstring, which is just terrible news. Caruso, young Lawrence Caruso, being thrown into the deep end, the 17-year-old keeper. Didn't have too much to do actually throughout the rest of the game. Couple shaky clearances over there, here and there throughout the game. There was that brilliant save that he made in the second half, that diving save that he made. That was fantastic. But defensively overall, I thought we were really solid. Kai Rolls was fantastic. In my opinion, one of the, maybe top three centre-backs in the league. And I don't think I'm saying that just because I'm biased as a Mariners fan, but I genuinely believe that. He barely puts a foot wrong. I can't think of a more player that's improved so much in the past 2 years in Kai Rolls. It's amazing to think, Kai Rolls is a real leader in this Mariners team now. So great to see him performing so well. In that second half, Rennie was getting more involved. The chances were coming here and there. And I thought bringing off Josh Nisbet early was a bit of an odd move. one of our most dangerous players. So whether he'd picked up or not, a knock or not, potentially. Benny and Kolola coming back into the side after missing out last week with injury. Good to see him back. Didn't make too much of an impact. Harry McCarthy also came off the bench. Of course, the hero from the FFA Cup during the week last week. But especially with MacArthur, because they got that goal. Especially when, again, it was a similar thing to Phoenix last week because they had that lead. They were able to sit back, and especially MacArthur, they basically played with just 5 locked in across the back. Even those attacking, the two sort of midfielders, holding midfielders that sort of sit in front of that back 3, and then the front 3 sort of really tucking in. It was so hard to break down. And it really was a similar story to Wellington Phoenix. It felt very much the same. We didn't play poorly. We really didn't. None of these games we've played poorly. We've created chances. We've had good little moves there. It's just the quality in the final third. Yeah, we're getting there. We're creating the chances. We are getting into the box. Even Storm Rue down the right, again, some nice combinations. Jacob Farrell, had a couple of shaky moments here and there, I thought, in this game. But again, was getting involved in attack, played a couple of decent crosses across the ground for some opportunities in the box. So look, it's there. I will once again... I'll once again declare the fact that I just cannot wait for these players to return players to make their appearance in Nikolai Muller to make his debut for the Mariners. But Matt Simon, what he brings, none of the other strikers fulfill what Matt Simon. None of these strikers that we have now, and Arenya, Maresh, Sekenis, none of them are Matt Simon. We desperately need him, that especially towards the end there when, we're playing these crosses in, and just to have that physicality. Someone to not necessarily just score the goal to score the header, but just to bring the ball down. We've got quality players in there that can score the goals in, Maresh, Arenya, Saigotta, these guys that can finish off a chance. But there's no one in there. There's no focal point. There's no focal point to the attack, and that's what Matt Simon brings. That's why he was so good last year. That's why his combinations with Arenya were so good, because there was that combination play of Matt Simon being the target man, drawing the defenders, Arenya working the space. It works so well for us. We are missing that desperately. We are really, really missing that. And similar thing, with Nikolai Muller, that creativity that he's going to provide as well. Saigotta again showed little glimpses here and there. I think again another one of those players who are just going to keep getting better and better with more game time. But Nikolai Muller's influence in this team should hopefully, he'll bring a different dynamic, I think, in attack. So again, defensively and across midfield, I thought we looked really solid. Attack was okay, just missing the final ingredient. It's there. So, back-to-back losses in the A-League. We started the season now, 3 games, 1 win, 2 losses. It's not terrible. The performances have been there. They have been there. There is plenty of reasons to be optimistic. And don't forget, we've been playing, 5, 6 consecutive competitive games away from home. Cannot wait to get back to Central Coast Stadium next week against Sydney FC. It's going to be massive, man. I cannot wait. It's been so long since our last home game, that elimination final against, of course, Macarthur FC, which we don't like to think about too much. But anyway, so keen to get back home in front of the palm trees. For my 3-2-1 votes, of course, we're doing this at the end, at the end of each match reaction video. So for my 3, very easy, incredibly easy. Kairos, I gave him the 3 points in the FA Cup during the week as well, I'm pretty sure. And again, he's so consistent now. He's so consistent. The way he reads the game, the way he even gets forward in attack at times, playing the ball forward. Fantastic stuff. For my 2, I'm actually going to go Harry Steele. I thought he was really, really impressive. And as I mentioned earlier, looked really comfortable at A-League level. So great to see that, we've got 2 young, midfielders coming up alongside Oli Bozanic in both Max Ballard and Harry Steele. And then for my number 1, I'm going to go Oli Bozanic. Again, another player who's just consistent as ever. And without him, we're a weaker team. So 1 point to Oli Bozanic, who was getting involved in this game as well. And, was keeping the team on the front foot. And was controlling things in the middle, as he always does. So very easy to give Oli Bozanic a point as well. Let me know what your thoughts were on this game in the comments down below. Very interested to hear what you guys think. What would you change anything to this current lineup, to this current system? What is not clicking for us? Is it simply that we need, the players in Matt Simon, Nikolai Muller to be injected into the squad to hopefully, that maybe that'll be that final ingredient, as I mentioned. Once again, guys, thanks so much for catching up with the videos. If you want to stay up to date to all of the Central Coast Mariners and A-League content dropping here at Coastwood Football, make sure you hit subscribe. And if you have enjoyed this video, I do appreciate it if you hit like. It helps me out a lot. Have a great week, guys, and I'll see you next week.